taking a bath was always so spiritual. I found it so soothing in the midst of turmoil. You wouldn't have any idea how exhausting it is having such vast numbers of men whirling over you year after year. Divine beauty is such a burden. At least you've been spared that.
Are you going to take your spirit robes off?
We're all aware of your legendary modesty, Penelope. I'm sure if you ever were to bathe, you'd keep your own robes on. But I do prefer to bathe without mine, even in the spirit.
That would explain the unusually large number of spectators you've attracted.
But is it unusually large? I never count them. I do feel that because so many of them died for me, well, because of me, surely I owe them something in return.
If only a peek at what they missed on Earth.
Desire does not die with the body, only the ability to satisfy. But a glimpse or two does perk them up, the poor lambs.
So you're washing their blood off your hands. Funny, I hadn't realized you were capable of feeling guilt.
Tell me, little duck, are your own hands entirely free of blood?
We are the maids, the ones you failed, the ones you killed.
Goodbye, little cousin. Enjoy the asphodel.
By now, there was an increasing amount of curiosity about me, as there was bound to be about the wife, or was it widow, of such a famous man. If Odysseus were proved to have died, would I be open to other offers? The suitors didn't appear on the scene right away. For the first 9 or 10 years of Odysseus' absence, we knew where he was. He was at Troy, and we knew he was still alive. So they waited. They waited until hope had dwindled and was flickering out. First 5 came, then 10, then 50. The more were there, the more were attracted, each fearing to miss out on the perpetual feasting and marriage lottery. They were like vultures when they spot a dead cow. One drops, then another, until every vulture for miles around is tearing up the carcass. Excuse me, gentlemen.
Fair Penelope, beauteous Penelope, my knees melt at the sight of you.
Penelope of the divine form, kindest and most sagacious of all women, take pity on me.
Sweet Penelope, royal widow, you owe it to our suffering mankind. Should choose a new king for your consort, and put us out of our miserable suspense.
But Odysseus is alive! An oracle has said so.
The sea teems with roaring pirates. They're very fond of attacking palaces.
Looting, stealing, carrying off women as slaves.
It's not safe for a queen here all alone. A rich queen such as yourself, without a king to protect her.
Her and her son.
You wouldn't want anything to happen to him. Here comes the little snot now. Acts like he owns the place.
Daddy went to Troy. He didn't take his darling boy. He's never coming back again. We'll get your slaves and golden toys. Daddy went to Troy. He's coming back. Then you'll be sorry. He'll shoot you full of arrows.
Then we'll be sorry. Who's gonna make him?
Not you, you sniveling little mama's boy. Hey, slave, bring me a lamb. I'll slaughter it myself.
I want beef. Bring me a cow. A goat for me. I want a pig.
Wine! Bring wine!
First we'll roast, then we'll feast. Keep up the blood.
That's right, boys. Keep stuffing it in. At this rate, there'll be nothing left, and then Queen Penelope will have to make a decision. A toast to Queen Penelope. Marry or starve. Marry or starve!
First prize, a week in Penelope's bed. Second prize, 2 weeks in Penelope's bed. Close your eyes and they're all the same. Just imagine she's Helen. That'll put bronze in your spear.
When's the old bitch gonna make up her mind? Let's murder the son. Get him out of the way while he's still young. The little bastard's starting to get on my nerves.
What's to stop one of us from just grabbing the old cow and making off with her? No, lads, that would be cheating. You know our bargain. Whoever gets the prize gives out respectable gifts to the others. We're agreed, right? We're all in this together. Do or die.
You do, she dies. Because whoever wins has to screw her to death.
Month by month, the pressure on me increased. What was I to do about these aristocratic young thugs? They were at the age where they were all swagger, so appeals to their generosity, attempts to reason with them, and threats of retribution alike had no effect. Complaining to their parents did no good. Their families stood to gain by their behavior. And any man who might have been loyal to Odysseus had sailed off with him to Troy. Euryclea was especially diligent in the reporting of malicious gossip, whether true or invented. Most probably, she was trying to harden my heart against the suitors and their ardent pleas, so that I would stay faithful to the very last gasp. She was always Odysseus's biggest fan. Telemachus was growing up, and he began to look at me in an odd way. He knew that if I stayed in Ithaca and married one of the suitors, that suitor would become the king and his stepfather, and, well, being ordered around by a lad not much older than himself did not appeal. I knew it would do no good to try to expel my unwanted suitors or to bar the palace doors against them. If I did that, they'd grow really angry and go on a rampage and snatch by force what they were attempting to win by persuasion. But I was the daughter of a naiad. Behave like water, I told myself. Don't try to oppose them. When they try to grasp you, slip through their fingers, flow around them. It is for this reason I pretended to view their wooing favorably, encouraging one, then another, even sending them secret messages, until finally a scheme occurred to me. I've gathered you all here to tell you that your waiting is nearly over. Last night, the ghost of Odysseus appeared to me in a dream. I accept the sad fact that he is no longer among the living. His soul has fluttered down to Hades, and he now roams the fields of Asphodel with all the other fallen heroes.
Choose me!
But there is one task I must complete before I can choose a suitor. My father-in-law, Laertes, is an old man. It would be impious of me not to provide a costly winding sheet for him when he dies, so I must weave a royal shroud for him or incur the god's anger. Once the sacred work is finished, I will speedily select a husband. Choosing will be difficult since so many of you have so many extraordinary qualities, but choose I shall.
Fairest Penelope, we respect your pious and dutiful intention, and we will wait, although impatiently and burning with desire, until its completion, when one of us will be made the happiest man on earth.
I recruited my favorite maidservants, the youngest and most beautiful. They've been with me all their lives, born slaves of the palace. I brought them up as playmates for Telemachus, and I trained them carefully in everything.
Shame on you, thinkless mother. Most diligent Penelope. We will now retire, so that you may leave ever more quickly, so that our hearts will not break with longing for you.
Good evening, ma'am.
Call me Penelope. Let's dispense with formalities. We are amongst friends now. Come sit down. I brought us some figs. My favorite.
And some bread dipped in honeycomb.
A midnight feast. I brought the wine. Lock the door. No one must know we're here. In retrospect, I can see that my actions were ill-considered and caused harm. But I was running out of time and becoming desperate, and I needed to use every ruse and stratagem at my command.
Mother, why don't you put a stop to this? You're disgusting.
Your father isn't here, and what can I do? Now, I've got to get back to my weaving.
Sluts and bloodsuckers, all of you. Just wait till my father gets home.
What was that about?
What do you mean?
She looked at you funny.
The old bat's got a walleye, that's all.
I saw it. She looked at you funny. She's taken a long time with that stupid shroud of hers, right, boys?
Right.
Queen Penelope is a very clumsy weaver.
What's she really up to?
Nothing.
I'm going to follow her.
No! I mean, please don't leave me all by myself. I'll get lonely.
Melantha of the pretty cheeks. Not so fast!
Queen Penelope, you spoil these girls. You really do. You should hear what they say about you behind your back. They're all in cahoots with the suitors. They all deserve a good whipping. That's what Odysseus would do.
Euryclea! We need more water.
Yes, my lady.
Queen Penelope, you have to tell her. Tell her it was my order. She hates us. It's too dangerous. She's a terrible gossip. The suitors will find out. Try to stand it until your master comes back.
My lady, bad news.
What? Tell me. Is Odysseus?
Telemachus has taken one of the boats and has gone off in search of his father.
Oh, my poor boy. But he's never sailed a ship before. Oh, he's too young. Oh, he'll die and I'll be all alone. But he must have taken a boatload of supplies. How did he get the key to the storeroom? Euryclea, tell me the truth. You helped him.
Oh dear. How could I refuse him? He made me promise not to tell you, because he knew you would fret. He's so headstrong. He's at that age when a young man needs to assert himself. Just like my dad and Odysseus did.
He's not as cunning as Odysseus.
I didn't think of that. And now that's worse. I've heard that the suitors are planning to ambush him and kill him on his return.
Oh, the gods give me strength.
Now, my lady, never you mind, because the gods are just and they don't want you to suffer. Now, how about a lovely, comforting bedtime drink?
I did not believe that the gods did not want me to suffer. I might as well have been a stray dog pelted with stones or with its tail set alight for their amusement. Not the fat and bones of sacrificed animals, but our human suffering is what they like to savor. Sometimes, however, they relent. Oh, Telemachus, you saved, thank the gods! What were you thinking? You've got the brains of a newt! You are barely more than a child. You have no experience commanding a ship. You could have been killed 50 times over. Then what would your father say?
I'm not a child any longer. I'm a man. I know what I'm doing. I got back all right, didn't I?
For my good luck and good judgment, how dare you go off like that without even asking permission?
Permission? I don't need your permission to take something that belongs to me. It's all part of my inheritance, though. No thanks to you, I have any inheritance left at all. Those suitors of yours have been eating it all up, with a lot of help from those slutty maids.
What can I do about it? I have no control over them. You see how it is.
Someone in this family has to show some backbone. My father would be proud of me for having the guts to go out and look for him away from this pigsty and all the weak-minded women who live in it.
How could you refer to your own mother as the women?
Oh, here it comes again. You have no idea what I've been through for your sake. No woman should have to put up with this kind of suffering. I might as well kill myself. Ah! Euryclea! Euryclea! Hurry up!
Telemachus, dear child, you're back!
Get one of the maids to run me a bath. I'm tired. And bring me some food, too. I'm hungry.
Telemachus! Manners!
Manners are for girls.
So, did you discover anything about Odysseus on this little jaunt of yours? And if you did, could you possibly bear to share it with me?
Why would you care?
I'm his wife. Was there even the smallest? Was there any? Was there any news of Odysseus?
According to Menelaus,
You saw Menelaus.
my father's alive and well.
The gods be thanked.
But he can't get away. He's trapped on a tropical island.
By a beautiful goddess who makes love to him night after night. Yes, I've heard those rumors before.
And of course, I saw Helen.
Oh, yes, Helen.
She gave us a great dinner.
And how did Helen look?
As radiant as golden Aphrodite.
It was a real thrill to see her. She's everything she's cracked up to be.
She must be getting a little older by now, surely.
Not that you can tell. No.
Well, I'm glad the suitors didn't murder you.
Actually, Helen did look quite old. Way older than you, sort of worn out, all wrinkled like an old mushroom. And her teeth were yellow. Some of them had fallen out, even. It wasn't until I'd had a lot to drink that she looked beautiful.
Thank you, my son. Good night. Dear girls, I'm so sorry. They're pigs, all of them. When Odysseus gets back, I'll make sure he knows everything. I'll tell him the whole story of your loyalty to me, and you'll be rewarded. I'll tell him how much you've helped me. Tell him you've been like daughters to me.
We've got you now!
I thought you were so clever!
You lied! You deceived us! Now, you must choose!
Now began the worst period of my ordeal. I cried so much, I thought I would turn into a river or a fountain as in the old tales. Oh, goddess Athena, goddess of ingenuity and friend of Odysseus, despair overwhelms me. I beg of you on my knees, I implore you. Show me some sign to defeat the suitors, or send me some sign that Odysseus is on his way back to my adoring arms. But still, Odysseus did not come. I think the gods play most of their pranks because they're bored. Which prayer shall we answer today, they ask one another. Let's cast dice. Hope here, despair there. Oh, and let's destroy the life of a woman down there by having sex with her in the form of a crayfish. Not the fat and bones of sacrificed animals, but our human suffering is what the gods like to savor. That is what I often thought in my darker moments.
Here's your comforting bedtime drink, my child.
When I sleep, I have bad dreams.
Now, my child, you worry too much. Drink this, and may the gods send better visions.
Remember, water does not resist. Water always goes where it wants to go, and nothing in the end can stand against it. Water is patient. Dripping water wears away a stone. Remember, my child, you are half water. If you can't go through an obstacle, go around it. Water does.
Wily Odysseus, he set out from Troy.
His boat full of fruit and his heart full of joy.
And he was Athena's own shiny-eyed boy.
His lies and his tricks and his thieving.
Oh, to the isle of the dead, then Odysseus did stray.
But the treasure went not out, his spirits had prayed.
Till he learned what Tiresias the seer had to say.
Odysseus the artful is daughter.
Well, the siren sweet singing, then next he did pray. They attempted to lure him to a feathery grave, while tied to the mast he did rant and degrade.
Odysseus alone their riddle.
Here the whirlpool Charybdis did not of that catch, nor snake-headed Scylla she could not him snatch. But they ran the fell rocks that would drive you to scratch. For the clashing he gave not a fiddle. For the clashing he gave not a fiddle. We bended a pattern against his command.
Create the sun's scaffolding, short twisted brand.
Storm we all perished, our captives reached land.
The island of goddess Callisto.
After 7 long years there of kissing and woo.
We escaped on a raft that was drove to and fro.
Till Theranos did us things that the long we did do.
And there on the beach he did drink so. So he told his adventures and made to his sword 100 disasters and suffering galore.
For no one can tell what the fates have in store. Not Odysseus has mastered disguise.
So a health to our captain, where'er he may be, whether walking the earth or adrift on the sea. For he's not down in Hades, unlike all of we. And we leave you not any the wiser.
Who's to say prayers have any effect? On the other hand, who's to say they don't? 20 years of my prayers had gone unanswered. But finally not this one. No sooner had I performed the familiar shedding of tears than Odysseus himself shambled into the courtyard.
Is this the palace of renowned Odysseus, of Trojan horse fame, master of deceiving tricks, and well known for his hospitality to strangers?
Who wants to know?
A worthy aristocrat, whom the gods have seen fit to deprive of his rightful inheritance, now driven to wander the seas as an outcast.
You look more like a filthy old beggar to me. You should piss off before the queen suitor sees you. He'll beat you up.
And you'll help them, you faithless whores. Sir, in your travels, did you hear any news of my father, Odysseus?
Odysseus is your father. You're Prince Telemachus. Then I can tell you. Odysseus is alive.
Alive? Him? Not likely. I hope he's rotting in Hades. Now start off, you dumb shit. If you're here when I get back, I'll bash your brains in. As for you, pipsqueak, run off to your mommy.
Yes.
Daddy went to Troy. He didn't take his darling boy. He's never coming back again. We'll get your slaves and golden toys. Daddy went to Troy.
My son, I am back.
What?
I am your father.
What? You look so...
It's a disguise. Don't tell your mother. She'll give me away. Quick, I need your help. Go to the armory and count how many weapons we have there.
Sir, I'm not fully mistress in my own home, but I can still respect the laws of hospitality. We will dine together.
But my lady, he's so dirty and oh.
Do as I say.
Yes, my lady.
Admired queen, the songs tell of your faithfulness towards your absent husband, of your many trials, and of your clever trick with the shroud. What will you do now?
I intend to tell the suitors that I will marry whoever amongst them can string the great bow of Odysseus and shoot an arrow through 12 round axe heads.
Are they skilled enough to do that?
Only Odysseus himself could perform such a feat.
Then it's a good plan. Odysseus will approve.
You truly think he's still alive?
I know it.
Oh, sir, you give me hope. I've been so alone all these years, and I've had such bad dreams.
Every dream is a hidden door.
A door into the heart,
Yes.
and you can always open it. I dream I have a flock of lovely white geese, of which I am very, very fond. I dream they are happily pecking away in the courtyard, when suddenly a great eagle with a crooked beak swoops down and kills them all, and I wake up in tears.
The eagle is your husband, Odysseus, who will soon return and slay the suitors.
But if the geese are the suitors, why did their deaths make me sad?
My lady, it's very late.
So it is. Make up the best fleece bed for our visitor and wash his feet.
His feet? Yes, my lady.
I'm pleased you've chosen an old maid for this task, rather than a young and beautiful one, who would scorn my poor, battered feet. These feet have traveled many weary miles.
Many was the time that I washed the feet of my dear master Odysseus. That was over 20 years ago now. I'd recognize those feet anywhere, how firm and shapely they were. And he had this one scar on his thigh made by a wild boar. It was right about here. Oh, dear master!
One word, and you're dead.
May the gods forgive me for this little prank I played on Euryclea. Of course I recognized him at once. How could I mistake those short legs? But I didn't let on, because it's always an impudence to come between a man and the reflection of his own cleverness. Till tomorrow, when I will bring in the great bow of Odysseus.
I'll fetch your bedtime drink, my lady.
Make sure she sleeps very soundly, and lock her in the women's quarters. She's too tender-hearted for bloodshed.
Tomorrow I'd be able to tell my maids who he really was, but for now I knew that they'd faithfully continue their insults and join the suitors in their rudeness to Telemachus. Oh, what a joy it would give me when Odysseus could finally be told that my girls have been acting in his interests all along.
Behold, the great bow of Odysseus.
Doesn't look like much.
Honored sirs, contestants for the hand of Queen Penelope, who will make the first attempt?
Yeah, this will be easy.
mangy scum.
Oh, let him try. Good for a laugh, at least.
Okay,
Where'd you get your stick in the woods?
Mom, why did that go?
Idiot. You're getting so old.
And now, an arrow through all 12 axe heads.
No, that's not possible. Only Odysseus could ever do that. The old fart must have cheated.
Odysseus!
Yes, Odysseus. And now we'll see who's master in this house.
Kill him!
You're clear? Bring in the maids. I can call off the bodies and then wash the blood and brains off the floor. The palace must be cleansed.
And then,
Kill them. They've been dishonored. I know what went on between them and the suitors in my absence. I won't have such pollution in my palace.
Not all of them, Father.
Which ones? They.
the youngest ones, the disloyal ones, the impertinent ones, the prettiest ones.
As you wish. I'm going to wash off all this blood. Telemachus, see it done.
No! Young master, call the queen. She'll tell you we were only helping her.
We were following her orders.
What do they mean? I don't understand.
Pay no attention to them, dear master. They'll say anything to save themselves.
Maybe I should wait until...
Wait, do as your father says. Quickly, my child.
Euroclea, what is it? What's happened?
Odysseus, dear sweet Odysseus, has returned, and he slayed all of the suitors.
He did? Oh, when? Oh, but what time is it? Where are my maids? At last I can tell them the ordeal is over. And Odysseus, I can finally tell Odysseus that my girls have been working in his interest. Oh, how happy
The
am I.
maids have been hanged, my lady. Not all of them.
But which maids? Dear gods, which maids do they hang?
Mistress, dear child, Odysseus wanted to kill them all. If I hadn't chosen some, all would have suffered.
But which ones?
The ones who had been rude, the ones who used to thumb their noses at me, Melantho of the pretty cheeks, and her cronies. That lot. They were all notorious whores.
The ones who've been raped. The youngest. The most beautiful. My eyes and ears amongst the
tarnished girls to continue to serve in his palace. He never could have trusted them. Now come, dear child, your husband is waiting to see you.
We demand justice. We demand retribution. We invoke the law of blood guilt. We call upon the angry ones. Oh, angry ones, oh, furies, you are our last hope.
We implore you to inflict punishment and exact vengeance on our behalf.
Be our defenders, we who had none in life. Smell out Odysseus wherever he goes. From one place to another, from one life to another. Whatever disguise he puts on, whatever shape he may take, hunt him down. Dog his footsteps on earth or in Hades. Wherever he may take refuge. Hear to him in our forms, our ruined forms.
The forms of our pitiable corpses.
Let him never be at rest.
20 years ago, my beloved husband told me many stories in this bed.
Now I have many more to tell you.
You'll find our bed is just as you left it.
Whittled from an olive tree, with its living roots still in the ground, so that no one would ever be able to move it.
That was our secret, that no one else knew. So it really is you then.
Not the young man I once was.
Nor I the same young girl.
So much time lost. So much blood spilled. No need to cry now. I'm home.
And so we climbed into the very same bed where we had spent so many happy hours when we were first married. I'm glad it was dark by then, as in the shadows we both appeared less wizened than we were. But I couldn't hold back my tears. Odysseus believed they were all for him. He told me how much he'd missed me and how he'd been filled with longing for me, even when enfolded in the white arms of immortal goddesses. I told him how very many tears I'd shed while waiting 20 years for his return, and how tediously faithful I'd been, and how I would never so much as even thought of betraying his gigantic bed and its enormous bedpost by sleeping in it with any other man. By now, we were both proficient and shameless liars of long standing. It's a wonder either of us believed a word the other said. But we did. Or so we told each other. I suppose you know the rules. If we wish to, we can get ourselves reborn and we can have another try at life. Though first, we have to drink from the waters of forgetfulness so that our past lives will be wiped from our memories. Who's to say my next life won't be worse? Even from here, I can see that the world is just as dangerous as it was in my day. Misery and suffering have not disappeared. If anything, they're even worse. None of this stops Odysseus. He'll drop in down here from time to time. He'll act pleased to see me. He'll tell me home life with me is the only thing he ever really wanted. We'll go on a peaceful stroll, snack on some asphodel, tell the old stories. And then, just when I'm starting to relax, and I'm beginning to feel like I can forgive him for everything he put me through and accept him with all his faults, when I'm starting to think that this time he really means it, off he goes again, making a beeline for the river Lethe to be born again and to have more life-threatening adventures. He does mean what he tells me. He really does. He weeps when he says it. But then, towards us. They make him nervous. They cause him pain. They make him want to be anywhere and anyone else. What do you want from him? He atoned for the blood. He said the prayers. He got himself purified. What more do you want from him? What do you want from me? Just tell me.
We had no voice. We had no name. We had no choice. We had one face the same. We took the blame. It was not fair. But now we're here. We're all here too, the same as you. And now we follow you. We find you now. We call to you, to you. To wit, to woo. To wit, to woo.
They never talk to me down here. They never stay. I hold my arms out to them, my doves, my loveliest ones, but they always run away. Run isn't quite accurate. Their legs don't move. They're still twitching.